Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat... Their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the mother crystals. Four mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
the curse breakers have returned. I hear there's trouble in Rosaria. That room's as ragged as ghost locks.
So Martha's all right. Yep. Others weren't so lucky though.
And how may I assist you today? Going so soon?
Oh, Clive! Well...
The patron's wish, does that mean... So
Oh, no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his... I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of Your benefactors are a generous lot. You earned this. Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
how are you doing? Quick look.
Seen enough?
What's the matter, Nick?
The hunt board. It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Right. The people of Alastia are going through a lot already. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. Then perhaps I can.
And you say Sid built this place?
Did you come through the forge today? It smells like still.
Won't be long now, Martel. Sid, I am,
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know,
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All her hard work, I took it on, you see, after she... And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact.
Impressive. And welcome.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems...
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone... Here you go. Martell apples, they're called, in honour of her memory. You hear that, Martell? Today's fine.
You two look like you could use something to eat.
Martell.
Weren't she the girl from the furrows?
Course she was.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked?
These aren't those apples, are they? She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Them old apples were enough to curdle your gut. But these beauties are as sweet as you like.
I'll have to pay the boys down in the backyard a visit to tell them thanks.
A gift from the backyard. For your...
Blimey, these take me back. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach. He'd nab them right from the branch, made Martell livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew of.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourself? Hang on. I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy. Not in the depth. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work. And Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to...
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our...
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Them old apples were enough to curdle your gut. But these beauties are...
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go. Think you can help?
And you say Sid built this place?
Cursebreakers send their thanks. They were clearly very fond of...
They remembered her. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her.
I didn't do anything, really, but... Thank you.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And
Of course not. I'll see that you're... They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as... did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you!
Jill, look.
Rosaria, must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her. 'Twould be a pity to make examples.
Of course, your lordship.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small?
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller?
Welcome, stranger. There you are. You won't be disappointed. There you are.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants...
Don't they just...
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for him. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
We're going. Hunting for outlaws.
You seen them, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring If only we were. I might have turned them in.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know.
How'd you get it?
But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that.
We couldn't help noticing those
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to... You are to leave, Amber, and...
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are, or what brings you here, but your presence the Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will glad. This village will not become another East.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, we still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperial... But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before? Perhaps the next village will yield more... This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Ever since the auditory, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it. run like the wind.
Time to fight.
All yours, Toro.
More of my mother's men.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we...
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria. Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Your friends have been found. The branded you freed. They await you in...
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith.
I did, Mummy! I could hear him shouting from down the road.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial...
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home. The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving!
Have mercy.
Voice-rinsed dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Oh, enough for everything!
Fuck off! Hang you chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your stall! We'll cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. And the entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news.
I hear there's trouble.
You think it's all right to touch him?
Clive? Not saying Fornian, do you? Anything else?
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned, then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
We'll show them a company.
That's the Archduke's son.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage. Of course, my lord. May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Tell us then, Sir Wade.
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge, sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians. The Black Shields will call for reinforcements. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in...
How small exactly?
Small enough. Now that I have you and Lady Jill for company.
But until we arrive, that was your plan.
Sir Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
There is but one thing which will grant them, putting an end to the...
And so we...
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Yeah!
sideways.
Come along now.
Bastards are looking.
There they are. On your command, my lord. What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For us area!
For us area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
We're the ones that fight their battles for them.
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
You're finished!
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Finish him.
Good. Guess we're all
I don't see any more.
Nor do I.
It did. We sent every last one of the rotten. Perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother. She'll move swiftly to see her minions.
And then it will all begin.
I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone, her fields rot. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we felt. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard...
So, Wade,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person and had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wronged.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need...
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to her serene holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddo in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint of the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
Your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, She'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep.
The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
I didn't take you for a scholar either.
Oh, this? Well, it's Valisthea. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be...
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What?
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then...
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first tunnel worm I came across would be... But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, Dere?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's a beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted...
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
of
villages
these Guardians of the Flame?
Clive!
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself, and if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, it's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit?
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the fort. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
First August, and now you. What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
I told you not to stick your nose in my business.
Clive just wants to help, innit? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better. Please, mate.
Phil, shut you up. It's nothing, not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time... There. You got what you came for.
All right. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it, something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only...
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps, assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. Karen, Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does work.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was excited? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe?
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leather.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him. Good girl. Run like the wind.
There's no coin to be had in this miserable land, even if they wanted to trade with us.
I know. It was hard for us downnecks here in San Brea. Through the capital
Thanks, girl.
Fire and flame!
I can walk from here. No use calling Ambrosia now. This is no time to ride. Time to fight.
Company.
Time to fight. Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off. More than he can chew. You deserve a rest. Look sharp.
Flying hat.
Nice try. Is something there, boy? Could that be our man? Are you all right?
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it had.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She send you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting... I'd dearly love to help a fellow... Actually...
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that correct. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did, and thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there...
In that case, I'll see that he...
I'd be much obliged. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith, Mark.
Will do. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood. Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here look after each other.
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got to get...
Unwanted violets. If you have them.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer. When there was a war on, that sort of thing. Thankfully, times are, and even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them.
Do the scorpions still live?
I dare say they do. 3 reeds would be your...
Thank you.
Stay sharp. Don't know when those bastards...
Ambrosia won't help me here.
Don't you go causing any trouble now.
This is no time to ride.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against. I better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad. Or any worse, at least.
Did you find,
I did indeed.
Marvellous! Let's see.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your...
Into the potty. I present Chance's Stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm...
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What an assault on the senses. It's like... And yet, up through the... It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but... I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's Stew sits before everyone, a single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm...
Monster's taken quite a liking to Lady
And
Karen.
with a bit of luck... How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like... Here, Clive.
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see? And his name kept cropping up when I was asked. Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most level. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret, the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leather work.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.